Hi everyone, wanted to share with you another project for Carlos 001. I created another Eiffel Tower album, and this is using the Teresa Collins World Traveler Kit. I was really excited. I received it in the mail yesterday and it was just perfect timing. And what came with the kit was the 12 by 12 sheets, and you also get the die cuts, which are these right here, and a 12 by 12 black glitter sheet, which is really super pretty. I also used the 6 by 6 paper pad, and then I used the coordinating stamp set, and also some of the trims, and then I also used the Bow Bunny etc. combo stickers. Really super pretty stickers. So let me share with you my album. Carla's embellishments and trims just coordinated really beautifully with this collection, and it was just really perfect to create with. So let me share with you what I did. I bind it again using a 1-inch binding ring, and I used the extra large antique brass eyelets on all the pages. Here is some of the Teresa Collins trim. Really pretty. And then for the charms, I use a Tim Holtz beaded chain, and I add this charm that I got from Michael's. This charm I received in a rack, and then this is Carla's Joe Shabby Chic Chandelier bling. Really super pretty. So for the first page, which is the front, I used the die cut that came in the kit, and it was perfect because it was a banner, so I created it into a flag. And it says vacation, so I thought I would title it Vacation Our Travels, and I could put some pictures from a vacation that we went to. And then I covered it with the stickles in the frosted lace. And so right here, this is Rina's thin bling, super pretty in the silver. And then this die cut is from, again, the kit, and I just placed a pop dot underneath to give it some dimension. This is using a Martha Stewart butterfly punch. All the pages I distressed with the frayed burlap. And then over here, this is an IAmRoses spray. I added Carla's brown spray leaves, which are super pretty. So I added 2 right here, and then I also added her pearl beaded spray. It's really gorgeous. And that's in the beige. And then down below here, I added Carla's trim, and then also her flower trim. I love this. It's one of my favorites. And then this is a Butterflykisses flower. Added also some IAmRoses cherry blossoms, and then some mini roses. It's two-tone in the brown and the cream. And then I also add some flowers here from IAmRoses on the side. So that's my cover. And then the back of that, I added a ton of the die cut pieces from the collection. So this is another one. And then these right here, these tags, I actually cut it off from the design paper. And then this is the Teresa Collins trim. And then this was another die cut piece, this key. And then I used my Martha Stewart bird punch. And then I added, again, some of the frosted lace on top of that. Okay, so that's the cover. And then let's do it this way. This page right here, this pocket was part of those die cuts. It came with a really cute pocket, and then I covered it with Carla's, it's a really thin natural mesh material, and it's really pretty, so I wrapped it around the pocket, and then I add one of the die cuts of this postcard on top. And then these are some tags using one of my Sizzix dies. So I used the Tim Holtz mini tabs die to add on these tags right here, for, for the fasteners. And then I just dressed it with the frayed burlap. And then this is Carla's beautiful beige organic spray, super pretty. And then I add a die cut right here. And then behind here is Bona's Shabby Chic trim. And then I add some of these black resin Recollections flowers, and then a Tim Holtz key. So it spells out Secret Journey. And then the back of that page, I used my Sizzix Fleur de Lis die, and I add some of the Rina Thin Bling right here. And then this is using again that layering butterfly punch. And then I added 2 files, and this is using the file number 3 die. And then these are where I use the Bo Bunny stickers. So I can add some photos on these little files here, and it just tucks in. So I basically just hot glued this bottom part of the Fleur de Lis. Okay, and then for the third page, again, the Bo Bunny sticker from Etc. collection. This is a Sizzix die. I added another one of the die cuts, which I covered with the frosted lace. And this is another of the Teresa Collins trim. This is using my postcard Sizzix die. I basically just used medium weight chipboard and then covered it with a design paper and distressed it with a frayed burlap. This is an IAmRoses flower, which I stained with the Mission Bells brown. It's a really super pretty brown. And then the back of that page, I used my Sizzix puzzle die and created a little pocket. So I covered it with some of the design paper. Again, used the Bo Bunny sticker. This is a Carla small black butterfly. And then again, I created some more of some tags here, but this is using, the postcard die. And then I just used the design paper. So I created 2 little postcards here, and I just basically just folded in half. And then this is the Fleur de Lis, that's part of my die. And I covered it with design paper, and then again added some of the frosted lace stickles. And then on this page here, I use Carla's black burlap trim, and then I covered that using one of the die cut pieces and created a pocket into it. Here are just some tickets that I use my eCake Success ticket punch. And then here's a banner. This is using the Lost and Found stamp set. And then this is some Carla's black flat back pearl trim. And then this is using the Tim Holtz film strip. And then back here is a little Eiffel Tower, and that's using the Teresa Collins World Traveler stamp. And then here's Tim Holtz little mini doll, and then some IAmRoses flowers. And then the back of that, I use Carla's brown trim, super pretty, and then some more of the flat back pearls in black. And then here are some IAmRoses flowers, and then here's a camera charm, and then this is using one of the die cuts. This is my Sizzix Stampin' Up! Scallop die, and then I just added a design paper for my photo mat, and then I added black resin flower, and this is another die cut which I add a pop dot on the back. And then on this page, to create some more space for some photos, I basically took a 6x6 design paper from the 6x6 paper pad, and I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half again, and then I just made a slit. And so what it did was it created a page right here, and then the middle part was a pocket, which I placed a tag, and then is another place for some photos. And so what I did to this one was some more flat back pearls. These are some Recollections bling. And then I just basically layered the design paper. And this is another one of the die cut pieces. And here's another die cut that says Passport. Second place photos here. I just took a number 8 tag and just cut it to size to fit into the pocket. And then this is using the Tim Holtz tiny tabs die. And then back here I cut out this luggage from the design paper and added some of these little tickets using my ticket punch. And then the back of that page, I add some trim that I got from Arlene, and then again this is using the ticket punch. This is one of the die cuts from Teresa Collins collection. I used my Sizzix envelope die. And then these little mini tags is using the Tim Holtz tag, a tiny tag die. And then so it just tucks in there. And then this is a Martha Stewart crown punch, which I covered with some more of the frosted lace. And then on this last page here, I add again the Teresa Collins trim, and then this is Carla's flower trim, which I basically alcohol inked using one of my Copic markers. And then this is the dress form that was part of my die, and then I cut this image out from the design paper. This is Carla's beautiful clear leaf trim, and then some IAmRoses flowers. And then the back, this is using the stamp. I basically stamped it onto the design paper, and then I used my black AccuCut marker. And so that's my album, and it was really super fun to create. I really love the colors of this collection, and Carla's embellishments and trims again were just really perfect. And you can get all those at Carla's Etsy, and I'll have her link down below. So thanks everyone for watching. Bye.